turn it over to Donna now. Sorry, my volume's all messed up. Take
Okay.
it away, Donna.
All right, very good. Hey, everyone. So I'm just going to go over a few things about why CBD oil. If you haven't heard of it before, I know it's gotten a lot of press, but why? Why is it so important to us? So I'm just going to go over the endocannabinoid system, why we have it available today, and dosing, things like that, just so you're aware. So we all have an endocannabinoid system. You may not be familiar with it because at last I looked, the data I had was only 11% of medical schools taught about the endocannabinoid system. Now think about that, like the endocannabinoid system is like your cardiovascular system, your lymphatic system, every other system we have, skeletal system in the body. We have an endocannabinoid system, which means our bodies produce our own cannabidiol. And just like everything else, with age, with stress, with different disease factors, we can our endocannabinoid system can become depleted like every other system. So why is this important? Well, the endocannabinoid system is a master regulator in the body. And what it does is think of it like a thermostat for different body functions, physiologic functions. So think about, it's going to help with eating, sleeping, relaxing, protecting, and even forgetting, which is important. So the it helps with all physiological processes like wound healing, blood pressure, pain perception, brain cell production, glucose metabolism, immune function, and controls inflammation. So this is so powerful. So that's the endocannabinoid system. So how do we know we're producing endocannabinoids? So if you've ever nursed a baby or watched a baby get nursed, now, you know, when the baby's ready to eat, the baby's crying and, you know, everyone's stressed. It's palpable in the room how, like, the baby's ready to eat, everything, the stress is very high. So when the mother and the baby, when the baby latches on to nurse, and once there's, the milk is flowing, it's palpable how everything just calms down. The baby's calm, the mother's calm, everything is just flowing beautifully. But the change in the energy in the room is definitely palpable. So if you've ever experienced that or you've witnessed it, where the baby and the mother just calm down, the whole room calms down, that's the mother producing a cannabinoid. And that one in particular is called anandamide. And anandamide is the blissful endocannabinoid. So endo means our own bodies produce it. Exogenous means it comes from outside. So endocannabinoid is what we produce ourselves. So when you see that, or like a runner's high, like that kind of bliss, any kind of blissful feeling is your body producing an endocannabinoid. So running, nursing, a good poop, orgasms, things like that, that blissful feeling. And as we age, we don't really feel them as much as we used to. So that's really our endocannabinoid system getting depleted. So why any living being with a spine has an endocannabinoid system. That's why most living beings will benefit from an exogenous cannabidiol oil. So, you know, I give it to my dog. All 4 of us in my family take it, and I gave it to my last dog, and I'm certain that's why he lived as long as he did, as well as he did till the last day. But so we all have this system. So in 2018, why is it so popular now? In 2018, the Farm Bill was passed, and that made it legal in all states for CBD to be produced. It comes from the hemp plant, and as long as it's not a high dose of THC, so you may be familiar. A lot of people confuse CBD or hemp with marijuana. Now they look the same. They're cousins, and they all come from the same family. So, but they're cousins. They look alike. They smell alike. But the marijuana plant will have mostly THC with some cannabidiol, and the hemp plant will have mostly CBD with some THC. So THC is what gets you high, and CBD So actually, I've learned that if you are high from marijuana, and you could take some CBD to bring the buzz down. So it's that powerful. And so they're related, but they don't do the same thing. And they both have their purpose, right? You know, I believe THC, I mean, I'm not big on recreational THC. It's fine if you do it. I'm not here to judge. But I think a lot of people with like MS or cancer or things like that can really be benefited with, you know, if they have chronic pain, things like that can really be benefited from a THC. But that's separate. So back to CBD. CBD, most of us will benefit from it. I really don't know anyone that will not benefit from it. But, you know, it's why we have different things available. So these are some of the things. Now, and if you're interested in learning more about it, if you go into my page and go to my videos, I did this whole book, A to Z. I broke it down, A to Z, each disorder with CBD. So I have videos on every one of them broken down. So feel free to scroll back and look at my old videos because it's all from this book is called, and I've gone through lots of research. This is the Essential Guide to CBD, and it's powerful. So when you think about like, these are some, but not all, and there is data on all of this. And the fact that it's not, if you're wondering why it's not recommended from your doctor or other healthcare professional, you need to go back to look at the history, which is fascinating, of when CBD hemp was a mandated crop. So in the 1600s in the United States, everyone was growing hemp plant. But in like Virginia and another state, it was mandatory that every property owner was growing hemp on their property. And all around the world, I mean, I've seen data that goes back to like 2300 BC or something. Like there has been hemp forever. And if you want to know why we got away from it and why it was given the kibosh and people were labeling it as a bad thing, you have to go back to industry. You have to go back to when petroleum became available, when the pharmaceutical company, when the paper industry, all of that is what came along, and the lobbyists that came along with that. And that's how CBD ended up getting a bad name and not being available for everyone like it used to be. So that's the history. If you want to learn more about it, it's fascinating. It's probably a lot of corruption. I don't know how much you're going to be able to find, but if you dig, you'll find stuff. So these are some, but not all of the disorders or issues that CBD can help in a person. Acne and skin conditions, addictions and alcoholism, anxiety, autism. There's a lot of studies on autism and CBD. Bone health, cancer, chronic pain, even COVID-19, dementia and Alzheimer's, depression, diabetes, digestive and bowel orders, epilepsy, fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome, heart disease, liver and kidney disease, migraine and headache disorders, nausea, Parkinson's disease, post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD, psychosis and schizophrenia, sleep disorders, traumatic brain injury and stroke, weight issues, obesity, anorexia and cachexia, women's health. So to elaborate on some of those, like, so we have different receptors in our body, and we have a CBD1 and CBD2 receptors in the body. So we basically have receptors all over except the heart, I think. And so brain, we have more CBD CBD receptors in the brain than we have neurotransmitters. Like, what? That's crazy, right? So we have more, and it's never talked about. So that's why when you take some CBD, it should help you. Now, so it will help. For me personally, I think my skin and my hair totally improved, but totally, I was doing it post-menopause when I was going through the sweats and, what do you call them, hot flashes, things like that. It totally helps your sweating and hot flashes. It's amazing. And with those things, after menopause goes through, you usually get maybe some anxiety, sleep issues, maybe mood issues. And all of those for me were helped by taking CBD every day. And, you know, my sons, my husband, we all need it for different things. My one son has type 1 diabetes. My other son does very stressful, high level, intense work. And you need to be very focused and stuff. So CBD will help you with your focus, with your attention, with your anxiety. And then if you get injured, it's going to help your pain. It's going to help the inflammation. So it's been so helpful. From my last dog, this is how I started my quest for CBD, was when my last dog, as he was getting older, fireworks and thunderstorms and lightning, all that stuff would make him very anxious. And it just got worse as he got older. So I went on this quest to find, I learned somewhat about CBD. And I found a place at the mall, seemed like it was okay. I spent a lot of money on it, and I started giving it to him. And it seemed like it was helping him some. But then I learned more about CBD, and I realized what I was giving him, I don't even know if there was actual hemp in there. Like, it was just something that was labeled. This is not a regulated industry, so you have no idea what you're buying unless it's certified and you have certificates of analysis and, you know, third-party testing. So was buying this at the mall. It cost a lot of money. And then when I really started learning more about it, it didn't even have the stuff in it. I don't know what it was, but it was something was helping them, but I don't really know what it was. And then, so I started, that's how I got into CBD, because then I saw how my dog was being helped. And so then I got into CBD back with another company, you know, right when the Farm Bill passed and the company started being available. And I was programmed to believe that you have to spend a lot of money to get good quality CBD. And really, that's the only way that was out there. And I knew it was tested, whatever. So I was doing it. We spent a lot of money on CBD over the years, but we've had great results. So it was worth it. And that company I was with then didn't survive 2020. So then I was looking for, and I went on a quest again to find the right one for my dog and my family. My dog first. And and then another company started, and I was with them, and that was going really well. But it's really expensive. And even though I have a lot of people that had a lot of benefits from taking CBD, it was really expensive. And a lot of people can't afford it. It's not a priority when you have to pay your bills and pay your gas and everything else is going up. So like everything else, to stay on something and be on auto ship or whatever and keep using it is not really cost effective, even if you're having great benefits. So, you know, in anything, people have to decide between paying for gas and food versus, okay, here's CBD or whatever supplement you may be taking. And, you know, something's got to give. So you have to eat and you have to buy your gas. So that usually is a priority, and doing whatever you need to your family. So you tend to step back and sacrifice some of those supplements because it's too expensive. So fast forward to now, the one thing that got my attention when I was introduced to LiveGood was the CBD caught my eye, because I was spending at least $80 to $100 a bottle of CBD. That's a month. And then times 4 plus my dog. And my dog CBD was $60, and the rest of us was $80 to $100. And so when I was introduced to LiveGood, the first thing that caught my eye was the membership price for CBD at LiveGood is unbelievable to me, and I still am blown away. But the 750 milligram is $18 for members. The 1,500 milligram is only $26 for members. And the PEP formula is only $14. I was spending $60. This one would have been, I actually have a client that still orders from that other company from me, and she spends, and this is the dose she gets at a discount, she spends $111.96. And I know that because she mails me a check every month, because I have her on auto ship because she loves it so much. So I have it on my account, and she just mails me a check and it goes to her. This bottle is $26 at LiveGood.
What do you say to somebody who says, "Oh, that product is shit because of the price"?
Okay. That's fair, because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, how can it be? Because to me, it's a total, all of this has been a paradigm shift from what I've been programmed to believe. So I sent emails, and if you know me at all, you know that I like to do investigation and do my work. So I sent emails to the director of product development and director of product training. And I'm like, how can this be? I've been programmed to believe this for so long. How can we sell a CBD for this much money? How can it be any good? Well, they gave me all the information. I found out where it's sourced from. It's sourced from one in the top 1% of hemp farms in the country. Okay. So another thing about when you're looking at CBD on a shelf, like you could go to, we live in, I'm in outside of Philly, and Tanya's in North Jersey, but you know, around here, you could go to Wawa, you could go to the gas station and buy a CBD. And I've seen it for like $9. Here's the thing. You don't know what you're buying. If it's most CBDs that are available, 80% of them at least come from China. So the hemp plant is a scavenger plant. You can plant it in the soil and it will absorb any kind of toxins in the soil. So there's no regulation. And so if they're actually using CBD from hemp, they could be using that toxic plant and putting the oil into the bottle and selling you that. And that's already absorbed all these toxins. And now you're putting directly into your body. That's bad, right? But that's if it's actually CBD from hemp, because since it's not regulated, you don't know what you're buying. Somebody could put baby oil or motor oil in a bottle and slap a CBD label on it, and you're buying that. So you have no idea. So that's why I was really programmed to make sure I was getting good quality stuff. So I looked into where LiveGood gets their CBD from, and they get the ingredients, the exact ingredients that they want. And this company that sources it for them, the hemp growers, were actually invited. The government does a hemp panel, and there's a lot of people selling hemp in the United States, a lot, like everywhere you go. But an elite select group of hemp growers were invited to this government panel, and the CBD company that grows ours, or the CBD farm that we get our product from, was invited to this elite group. There's not many, and they were invited to this elite group, this panel for the government, because it's not regulated. So there's a lot of questions, and if they go to regulation, which I hope they do, it's already with this company that's already on the forefront of this. So the ingredients are top quality, and there's a certificate of analysis on every batch, so you know it's legit. What it says, it's third party tested, which is so important. It's clean. Now, ours, LiveGood currently only has full spectrum full spectrum CBD. So if you're shopping for CBD, it can be isolate, broad spectrum, or full spectrum. You may have heard these terms before. Full spectrum means it's using the whole entourage of the plant. It's getting everything. So when things have plants, botanicals use terpenes, and that's when terpenes are what gives it the smell and gives it that power. So think of a lemon. Like, I don't even have to tell you, if you think of a lemon, you could smell a lemon, right? What you're smelling is the terpene of a lemon. So the smell you smell from marijuana or from hemp or whatever is the terpene. So with full spectrum CBD, it's using all of the stuff from the plant. You know, I'm not talking about the stem and stuff, but all of the flowers and the things that you're going to get the terpenes and the max benefit. So full spectrum would be the max benefit, but it can have legally can have up to 0.3% THC. So that means that will never get you high. But what you need to know is, first of all, ours have never even tested. Some of them, sometimes doesn't even come up on the test because there's that little THC. It's not even readable. But it's permissible to have at least 0.3 or up to 0.3% THC. And ours doesn't come close to that. But what you need to know, when you take a full spectrum every day and it has a little THC, it could build up on you. And if you're somebody that gets drug tested, you may want to not take a full spectrum, because it could show up if you take it every day like you should. and it could come up on your blood test. It's only because the blood test and have not caught up to the benefits of CBD, like the Farm Bill passed. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's totally safe. It's just that it could show up on your blood test. So that's the caution with taking a full spectrum CBD. A broad spectrum CBD has the THC extracted, and so it's the next best, and it's totally safe to take every day. It won't show up on a blood test.
You said, right?
Full spectrum.
We're full.
Spectrum is what we have.
So when somebody is already has their expensive CBD, they should be looking to see if they can find the sourcing, if they have a certificate of analysis, and so forth, right? So when I say, I challenge anybody to go label to label, because I have a few friends that are like, oh, that can't be a good product because of the price. And I don't think people realize that when you cut out overhead, you guys, nobody's making commission off these products. It's off the membership that anybody that endorses this company makes their money. You can. There's no big corporate facility. There's nothing fancy going on here. So if you are using a CBD oil right now, I challenge you to go back to that company and ask for a certificate of analysis. Ask for third-party testing. Absolutely. Before you dismiss something. We're so disciplined, especially in this country, well, probably only in this country, that the more you pay, the better the product. And you know what? That is complete bullshit. Well, because
in some cases that can be the case, but in this case, it is not. So it's a great point. So with isolate is the other available option if you're shopping for CBD. Isolate is where they've extracted everything, and it's just the CBD. So there's none of the other benefits from any of the terpenes or anything. So it's still effective, but it's least effective. So best, it would be like good, better, best, and best being full spectrum in my opinion, and then better, and then, good is the isolate. So what's important, so some people have told me like, oh, I've tried CBD, it didn't work for me. Okay, so there's a few things for that. First of all, what's the quality that you're taking? Is it really CBD? Blah, 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 everything I just went over. The other thing is, are you just taking a little bit and then like here and there sporadically? You may get a benefit if you just take one dose. Like if you're feeling really anxious and you're about to fly on a plane and it makes you anxious, you're about to take a test and you're feeling anxious, you may be able to take a dose of CBD and feel calmer and feel more together. But to help the endocannabinoid system, think of it like a bucket. And as we're age or there's stress or there's a disorder going on, the bucket gets empty. So if you're trying to fill that bucket and you're just doing a drop here or there or a dose here or there, that bucket's never going to fill. But when you take your dosing every day like you should, I consider this a supplement like I consider my multivitamins. This is a supplement in our house. So if you are consistent and you take your dosing and think about filling that bucket back up, that's how the endocannabinoid system is going to be most effective for you. So it's key that you take it daily or most days. And you can, how you take CBD is you want to start low and slow. So you want to start with a small dose. So the droppers come and they have marks on them. So one full dose, you could start with that, but I would start with like half a dropper twice a day. And I would do it whenever, like I used to take it when I was driving from Philly to Jersey, which is so much traffic, and it's so grateful I'm not doing that right now. But I would take it in the morning before I drove like crazy, and it would totally feel so much better driving. Like it took all that road rage, I felt so much calmer driving then. And then I would take another dose later in the day. And now I do it every morning. My husband takes a dose every morning, and then I may take a little bit more later, but I have more things going on, like from postmenopause, other things going on. And I find that splitting my dose like that has been really helpful. My husband will take a second dose if we're doing something really stressful, like, driving a long distance or whatever. And, like whatever's going on, I may give him an extra dose, but usually he's great with one a day. Some people like to take it later in the day to help them sleep. Now, I wouldn't take it when you first start. I would not start taking it at night right away, just to see how you respond, because sometimes it has a different effect for people. So it's going to help what your body needs it to help it do. So it's very smart. But, you know, if you take it late, it could stimulate you. It could make you more alert, and that may not be good for you. So take it earlier, like maybe at dinner time, and see how you do with that. And then you could play with it. But I would start with like a half a dose twice a day, and you pick the time. And then the thing about this, it's not like a pharmaceutical where like you're getting, this is the dose. It's not weight based. It's not any of that. Like I need more than my husband, who weighs at least 100 pounds more than I do. Right. And so I take more than he does, and it helps me. And then, you know, like my son doing different stressful things, you know, with his job or whatever, and doing jujitsu, like he was injured, he was taking more to help with the inflammation and everything, just for a shorter period. So you can play with this, and you could titrate it to what you need it to be, or cut it back when you need it to be cut back. But that's how I recommend it. So how it comes, so like this bottle says 1,500 and this bottle says 750. Obviously it's like half of it, right? Sorry, there it is. How this works, whatever's labeled on the package for CBD, so this is 1,500. So it's a serving size is the 1 milliliter, and it's marked on the dropper. So there's 30 servings in each of these. So one serving of the 1,500 equals 50 milligrams per serving. So this is different than like taking ibuprofen, where it says a serving is like 200 milligrams. This is completely different, because then it would have to be like a million on the package. So this entire bottle will is only 1,500 milligrams. So you could take this whole bottle and not have an issue. You might have diarrhea and a headache, but nothing bad. No one has ever died from CBD. It is not addictive. You can stop at any time. You can start at any time. It helps people with addictions. I did a great video on that a while ago. So it helps that part of the brain. So I actually talked to a friend that's an interventionist, and I'm like, you know, this really helps people with addiction. But in that world, no, we don't want to get them, you know, started, you know, on anything else. I'm like, really? With something that actually could help their brain from that addiction that keeps wanting them to have it? Like, that's so pharmaceutical that you're saying, right? So each serving, so you can do the 1,500 is a better bargain, because you can do half the dose and you're getting the same dose as one serving of this. So that's why I like to get the bigger one, because it's just more cost effective, but either are great. So the 750 would be 25 milligrams per serving. So that's, do you have any questions? I think I kind of covered everything. And the price of this, so the membership is so smart. This, I've been, if you don't understand this, we have a membership program here like Costco or Amazon Prime. And because of that, we share the membership as affiliates. We get commissioned, we get rewarded for sharing the membership and people joining as a member. We don't get paid. I don't care if you order 5,000 boxes of this. I won't get a dime we don't make commission off of another member, which is great. So that's how we can do it so cost effectively, because anywhere else, I don't care if you're buying it on a store or in a direct sales company, anywhere else you buy this will have to have a markup, because they don't have a membership option, right? So if you're in direct sales, everyone in your upline gets a piece of it. If you're buying it at a store, the store is the middleman. They need to make a profit, right? So there's no middleman here. So this cuts out all the middleman, and no one makes a profit off of another member. So this is the best, smartest business plan I've ever seen. I'm really passionate about. The ingredients are always the best ingredients out there. I would put this against anything, like Tanya said. Okay, I think I covered it all.
Alyssa's asking the difference between human and pet CBD.
So I should tell you, the carrier, you need a carrier, because you can't just absorb it. You need a fat. So this always comes in a fat, a liquid fat, or you could get other ways, but it has to have a fat so the body can absorb it. So our carrier for the humans is MCT oil, which is part of multi-chain triglyceride, right? Yeah, and it's like coconut oil. It's part of what coconut oil is. So it's very bioavailable for the body. The body will absorb this really well, and be able to. Oh, we have regular flavor, and mint flavor. I haven't tried the mint flavor because I tend to just be natural. I just do the natural. It doesn't taste like anything. It's fine. The pet formula is chicken flavor. My dog loves it. He doesn't say anything about it. And the carrier here is small to read for me. They use a different fat for the animals. So it's safe. Either are safe for human and animals, but they just make this more palatable for an animal. And this is more bioavailable for the body, to our human bodies, to absorb it better. So really, really smart.
And I will say that if your dog has allergies, Alyssa's a bulldog owner too. I have an old English bulldog, so he can't have the pet formula.
Oh, really?
So it's because of the chicken flavoring, but I can give him the human one without a problem.
Perfect. Yeah. My dog does not tolerate chicken, but he does this CBD just fine.
Yeah. Bulldogs are ridiculous. I won't even get started.
Yeah, they have a lot of issues. They're better when they're mixed.
Yeah.
They need another breed in them. Any questions? I think I covered everything.
Yeah, I think you did. And I think that was good for the questions too. I do want to just thank everybody. I want to remind you again, if you are watching this on a page where you're not in the wholesale supplement private group, let us know. We're happy to invite you in. Lots of information on all kinds of products. And like Donna said, if you're interested in more information for the CBD, just tap on her name and that'll bring you to her page. And then you can check out, where are the videos found, Donna?
You just go to videos in my page. And
just
then
click on the videos. And,
and you'll scroll. There's a lot. I have the myths. I have A to Z. I have every disorder is in there. So it pretty much you can.
Yeah, I think I'll check it out because there may be some of you out there like me. I always thought that the CBD was for specific things, like if you have an injury or if you have anxiety. So this was very informative.
That's a good point, because a lot of them, when you see a CBD that says for sleep, that means it has something added to it. Maybe melatonin, maybe chamomile, maybe something to help you sleep. Because CBD in itself, you don't need to add all the other stuff to. When it says
it'll do what your body needs. As you said. That was my
Exactly.
big takeaway from this is I can take it every day. It's not going to affect my energy level. If anything, it will help. And my body, it's kind of like perfumes without a scent. People don't realize that your body, it has its own chemistry. So with the CBD, if I take it, it's going to go into my body. My body is going to utilize it where it needs to.
Absolutely right. That's why when you look at the things that say, oh, for this or for that, that means it has something else added. So
full spectrum is just a good choice.
It is such, there's so much data on this. And I was saying about, it's great for seizures and stuff too. There is a pharmaceutical now, Epidiolex, which I believe is like $20,000 a month or something crazy like that. And all it is synthetic CBD in a high dose. Like, really? Like that's the best we can do? So there's so many things. Young, old, babies, everybody can benefit from, and, anyone with a spine. So horses, rabbits, dogs, whatever, and humans.
Anyone with a spine. I'm going to take that one. Well, thank you so much,
Donna.
Thank you. And as always, you guys put replay in. If you're watching the replay, that'll bring to our attention that you're here. And if you have any questions, Donna and I are really good about answering, even though I think it'd be Donna a little more. I'm going to go to your page and learn more because now I am intrigued.
It's good. I was scrolling through there earlier. I'm like, wow, I have so much stuff there. All right, everybody.
Have a great day, everybody.
All right, bye.